Hello and welcome to the Q School Report Card, my yearly show that I do where we round up Q School. I will be doing a couple of live streams this week on the key days in regards to who's going to be getting over the line on those, but every single day throughout Q School I am going to be updating you at the end of the day the day's play. And I'm going to be doing this from round one all the way through. So if you're at work and you can't follow it and you want to get like a nice little 10-15 minute show at the end of the day where it all is just collaborated and you can unveil the story as it goes, I've got you covered, because that's what we're going to be doing right here on Edgar TV. All you need to do is hit the subscribe button. So let's first have a look at round one in the UK. The round of 512 has been done, and I'm going to bring this to life and give you some of the stories, because there's lots of different stories going on here. The likes of Sam Jackson, someone to keep an eye on during this, coached by Andy Cornwall. We'll see how he gets on. He's a young player with quite a bit of prospect. 5-3 victory there in the opening game. We've also got Adam Smith-Neil, former tour card holder. Not a good start for him, not getting anything on the opening day. John Part, three-time champion of the world, looking to get back on the tour again. We'll have to increase the performance, but he got the win. He is through to the second round. Aaron Monk, someone who will be expecting to get his tour card back. He's had a card on a couple of occasions, comes into this in stage one, but looks like he's ready. An average of 96 there for him in that opening game. John Henderson, someone will be very familiar with in regards to his performance, a World Cup winner in the past. But Conor Heenahan, if you watch the Super Series, one of those players who you always believe is going to go and do something and produce something and play well. And then when it comes to Q School, hasn't done it, and he's done it again there, losing out to Ian Lever. The same situation you'll see here, Reece Colley, another one of those players who plays well at the Super Series, but not so much at Q School. Again, disappointing there, an average of 66. One of those sort of players that maybe just not transferring it, or just gets too much pressure on the shoulders when it comes to Q School. Callum Francis, another one of those players who sort of caught the eye coming into Q School, where you think maybe he's going to do all right. Played for England last year, a couple of good runs on the WF circuit. He goes out 5-2 in the opening round, so a little bit of a disappointing start for him. Jared Cole, regular at Q School now, missed out on getting a card a few years ago against Aaron Beanie. That was the closest he came. And Ashley Coleman, another one who will have a lot of eyes on him, no doubt. Very popular due to the streaming that he does and the games of which he plays over on the Darts Ref channel. 5-4 defeat there, though, to Joe Mernon. Joe Mernon looking to gain his tour card. A lot of eyes will be on this guy, though, Graham Usher. When you're looking at potential tour card winners, not just people who potentially are going to do okay here, people who could go onto the tour and do well. Graham Usher really would catch the eye on that one. I expect that he'll get his card at some point throughout this week. And if you're looking at this as well and thinking, where are the big names? Where are these names that I expected to see at Q School? Where's the previous tour card holders? They come in at stage 2. So Q School's done in 2 phases. Phase 1 is 3 days. Those 3 days we are looking for players to go and fill up stage 2. Stage 2 is already locked and loaded ready with players who have lost their cards, done well on the Challenge Tour, Development Tour, etc. They're already locked in for phase 2. We're looking to fill up phase 2 with the remainder of the 128 player field. Down to the round of 256 now. And I'll just get it up here so we can see the whole round as we go. Sam Jackson continuing and playing well. 83 average in the first game, 87 in the second. Remember what I always say, Q School is about an 83 to a 93 average. If you're somewhere between the 83 and 93, you're going to be competitive. Harry Ward at the very top end of that competitive nature. He's a Pro Tour winner, someone who left the tour, gave his tour card back because he didn't like the lifestyle of being a professional dart player. Maybe seen somewhere that he can sort of slot between the two. Or maybe just looking for the Challenge Tour. Either way, darts like that, he's going to put himself in contention to put him phase 2. Aaron Monk went up against John Part in the second round. Wasn't as good for Aaron Monk in that round, but well within that 83 to 93 barrier. John Part said he needed to up it. He didn't. He went the opposite way. He now will go on to day number 2, hoping to pick up some more wins in regards to getting his place on the tour. Scott Taylor. We keep saying it, and I've mentioned this a few times. Players that play well in the Super Series, and then they come to Q School and don't deliver. Scott Taylor. David Davies, a player who recently played at Alexandra Palace. He's got a place booked as well, should he need it, at Lakeside. That due to the fact of winning the championship over in Killarney in November. So he knows he's got a World Championship in India regardless. Keep your eye on this guy. Derek Coulson. Not only in regards to Q School, I think he'll get a tour card this week. I think he'll do well on the tour. He is going to be a very, very dangerous player when it comes round to the tour, should he get his card. Remember that name, guys. If you haven't seen him already, keep your eye on him. Chaz Barstow was someone we kept an eye on a few years ago during the COVID year, got to the World Championship, was a dangerous player. Hasn't replicated that since. Maybe this is going to be his year. Steve Beaton, looking to make it back on the tour. Handed his tour card back, had a year off the tour. Things have been busy for Steve Beaton, probably busier than ever. But he's looking to get back onto the professional circuit, or at least the Challenge Tour. Lots of familiar names here you'll notice as well. Kevin McDine, Richie Burnett getting through to the next round. Shane McGurk, the previous WDF World Champion before Jimmy Van Ski took that over. And Wayne Jones, another one, familiar name, blast from the past, very, very dangerous. Was always one of those players that you say is the standard of the professional tour. But we're also looking out for those new names, the likes of Gemma Hayter, who's having a go here at Q School, will get a place on the Challenge Tour, as everyone will. Anyone who goes to Q School and doesn't get through do get a spot on the Challenge Tour as well. So lots still to be played for. And we've got another Geoff. We've got a Geoffrey. That's not how you spell Jeff. Jeff is Jeff. Jeff. That's Geoff. And it's always hard at this point of the tournament. Who's going to perform? Who's not going to perform? As it unravels, as the days goes on, we can sort of see where the stories are going. I can pick some out and highlight some players to keep an eye on, but you let me know in the comments section as well who I need to be keeping an eye on and who we should be covering on these roundups and features. Not only that, guys, on your way down there, you'll notice there is a link, and that link will take you to my clearance. I'm having a bit of a clearance here at Edgar TV. All shirts, match worns, prototype darts, used. There's all sorts of stuff going on down there. Take a look at that link on your way down there, guys. We're having a merchandise clearance. Here is your round of 128. Points are starting to become a bit of a factor. And remember my top tip. If you are going to Q School, don't think about points. Points are given to losers, tour cards are given to winners. The points are a backup system, not a target. Sam Jackson, though, someone we've been having a little look at, he's gone out there. Worst performance of the day for him, going down 5-4 to Keenan Thomas. Someone I played a few years ago in the semi-finals of the Welsh Open. Good young Welsh player, maybe one we should have kept an eye on. We certainly will have to from now, because he's through to the last 64 phase. We're looking for casualties, though, at this sort of round. Big names that may be going out, and we're not really seeing too many of them. One of the things that you get in this opening round of Q School is you tend to get the familiar faces getting through. A couple of names of the past, though, have gone down. The ones we highlighted in the previous round, all of them. Kevin McDine going out to Shane McGurk. Richard Burnett going down to Daniel Perry. Mark Dudbridge going down to Joseph Haywood. And also, where's he gone? I wanted to highlight him, but I can't find where the name's gone. Oh, as if. Can't find him. There he is, Wayne Jones. 5-1 down to Charlie Large. All going wrong. All going wrong here. But let's pick out one of probably the highlights of this stage of Q School. And that comes in the fact of Tom Sykes. Tom Sykes is one of those players like Andreas Harrison who have a serious level in their game, who have not produced it yet on the PDC stage. 5-0 victory here for Tom Sykes. Is this year he gets it right? Now, for me, Tom has the ability to go onto the tour and do extremely well. Is the mind where it needs to be? Is this the year that he gets that mentality right? And I've spoke about this before. I spoke about players, and there'll be lots of players at Q School watching this, or players with friends at Q School watching this, or people that want to go onto Q School in the future. Two great bits of advice for you. First of all, don't focus on points. Points are for losers. Tour cards are for winners. Points are the backup system. I've said that already. The next thing is there isn't a backup system. You don't go to Q School and say, I'll go to Q School. If I don't get my card, I'll go do the WDF. I'll go do this. You already go in there accepting the fact you might not win, which means you don't 100% believe you're going to win. So just keep those two things in mind. Get a bit stronger in the mind. Last 64, and a couple of things really to pick out here. One, Damien Grimes. New name on me. but certainly one to keep an eye on the basis. That 102 average, and it wasn't like it was an easy game. Danny Truman averaged 98 himself, so definitely one to keep an eye on here. Charlie Large made it to the final of Lakeside for the Boys World Championship a couple of years ago, went up against Patrick Quinn, who averaged 95, really good game there, 103 for Charlie Large. I think both Danny and Patrick can probably feel a little bit aggrieved when you look at some of the winning averages going through, and they had those incredible performances. But it's all about the wins. You can only beat what's in front of you. Tom Sykes, another good win for him. Great match there, going through 5-3, two good performances. But the big casualty of that round has to be Graham Usher. Losing out to Clue Bevan there, 80-60 average for Graham Usher. I do think he gets through. I think he gets through later on. It's not going to be today. He needs to book his place into stage 2. Whether that's through points, whatever it is, Usher will get through to stage 2 for sure. And there it is, the conclusion of day 1. The 16 players down the left-hand side here are all through to the secondary phase. They will be back. These guys all get points and are in a very good position. Like Steve Beaton, though, a bit of a surprise that maybe he hasn't gone through on the very first day. John Henderson also going out in that final game before the automatic qualification. But they're probably in good positions. Robbie Martin had a great season on the ADC, transferring that to Q School. Be interesting to see how he gets on at stage 2. Derek Coulson, my top pick to go through and get a PDC Tour card, as is Tom Sykes. Keep your eye on those two at Phase 2. I'll certainly be keeping my eye on all of these players throughout Phase 2, that is for sure. But are we sleeping on someone? Is there someone we're missing? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you're unsure about anything, guys, in regards to this, put your comment down in the comment section. I may answer your question in a video throughout this week, because I'm going to be covering every single day of Q School, all your movers, all your shakers, right the way through to the day we have our new tour card holders for 2026. You just hit the subscribe. I'll see you all week.